Hello everyone. So today we are going to solve these practical model paper, which is the database system concept. So in this, we are going to create a database and create these two tables with this following data that they gave, and then solve the following queries. So let's get started. So first, let me open up my SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS, and then I double click it and I'm going to connect to my local server here. So while we wait for the SQL Server Managed Studio to get turned on or spinned up, I'm going to read this. So first we need to create a database with your name underscore roll number, only last two digits. Okay. Since I do not have my roll number, I'm just going to create a database with some number here. Okay, and then after we create a database, we're going to create a table with the following fields. That is the doctor ID, doc name, specialization. And doctor ID is the primary key. Doc name should not be null. So we should say not null, and then specialization should not be repeated. Okay, so this one should not be repeated, which means these have to be unique. So looks like my SSMS is up. I'm going to connect in here to my server, and here is my databases. And I am going to click on the new query to create a new database. So in my uh, new query window, I'll say create database, database name. That has to be name, whatever your name is. My name is Priyanka underscore 13. Okay, whatever your roll number, and you can do that. So I think looks like that was the first requirement. Name underscore roll number, only last two digits. And then I'm going to execute. We got the database created here. It says commands completed successfully. We're going to refresh this databases here and see if that's going to pop up. So there we go. We got our databases. Now in this database, we will have to, I'm closing the other ones that opened up. This one. So I don't need this. That opened up twice when I clicked on SSMS. Okay, so this is the only SQL Server Management Studio I have open. Now, in this database, what did they want us to do? Create table doctor with the following fields. I'm just going to copy these requirement into my SQL window here. I'm going to comment it here. And so create table doctor, which would be in the DBO schema. DOCTOR, and then doct ID, DOCT underscore ID. I'm suppose it's going to be integer because the values that they provided here is numeric, so the doctor IDs are integer. So I'm going to go back and say integer, and then doctor doct name varchar. I'm going to say 50 because doctor's name is not more than 50 characters, I believe. And then specialization, varchar 50. Okay. And looks like this is just typo there. I'll say specialization, or why is it? Okay. I think I will put a comma here. That's why you see that error. Now it's gone. And then close the brackets. So we have doctor name, doc name, doctor name, doc ID, doc name, and specialization. I like to use the word Z instead of S, so I'm gonna just put that there. But it shouldn't matter, I believe, in this case, but maybe in your exam you might have to follow the same thing that's there. Okay. Anyway, I'll just put it as S for now. Okay, they said doc ID is primary key. So I'm going to say int primary key. And then doc name should not be null. So I'll say not null. Simple, right? And then specialization should not be repeated, which means unique. And there we go. And if you see, I'll have to create this table in the database that I created, that is Priyanka_C. So I'm going to go in here and select my database and then highlight whatever I wrote in here, say execute. Yes, and then let's go to our database, look under tables, and we have a dbo.Doctor table. If we drill down that, we see the doctor ID, PK, which is the primary key, doc name, varchar 50, specialization varchar 50. Okay, I just use 50 because I don't believe the data that they gave has the more than 50 characters in the name of the doctor name. Now, they say create a table name patient. So I'm going to just copy this requirement here. Then go back to SQL, paste it. Then say create table dbo, which is the schema name, patient ID, which is integer, right? And then comma patient underscore name, that is what varchar 50, I'll say. And then age will be integer, and then appoint underscore date is date time data type, comma doc underscore ID integer. And now we have our patient ID, patient name, age, appointment, and doctor ID. Right? And now they say patient ID is the primary key. So I'll say primary key, patient name, nothing. Doctor ID is the foreign key. So what does foreign key do? So here we should say doc ID foreign key, which means it has to be in this table. So I'm going to say int references, which table dbo dot doctor. I'm going to specify foreign key int foreign key references dbo.Doctor, and then provide the column which has to be referenced doc underscore ID, whichever the doc ID, that's doc ID. So this is doc ID. Okay. So what are we doing? Patient ID is the primary key. Doc ID is the foreign key here. Okay. So we are good here. Then close the bracket and then create the table. Done. Good job. Now let's go refresh these tables and see we have the doctor ID and the patient ID. And if we drop down and see, we see a doc ID FK. FK means foreign key. Okay, now we got to insert this data in here. I'm just going to copy from here. So this has to be insert into dbo.Doctor columns, whatever the column names are, doc ID, comma, Docname, comma, specialization, values. What are the values? 101, comma, middle. Just put it in single quotes because that is a character and we don't need to put single quotes for integer values. So what I'm going to do, just to copy and paste because I don't want to type it. And then make sure there's no spaces in there. Okay. Single quotes. Comma, 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 comma. Then brackets on this side. Oh, V, control V. Then single quotes here, single quotes, single quotes, single quotes. Okay, and then comma, 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 comma. Right? Now, so we're going to insert how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. Okay. Now execute this. Execute. And this is an invalid column name doc ID. So let's think. What you need to do is copy this and paste it here. You can do this. Instead of, typing all of that again, you can just do a copy and paste. So what we're doing here is we're saying insert into doctor, doctor ID, doc name, specialization, and the values are 101 and the name is middle and then specialization is cardiology. So if I execute this, why is it say doc ID? What is the column that we create? DOCT underscore ID. Insert into this values. This is the correct syntax, right? No, the values has to come here. No, that I got the correct syntax. Values. I'm in the correct database, but it's not inserting. Why? Let me just put this in single quotes and try. Let's see if I have a table that I do. Select star from dbo.Doctor. Okay, doctor underscore ID. Oh, you know what? This one. This is the problem. I don't have to put the column names in single quotes. That is the problem. So you don't need to do this. Do that. See, that's how you can go wrong or think what's going on. You got to take some special attention while you're working, but don't panic. Okay, now here we go. Insert into this and look at what happened. It says violation of unique key constraint. Cannot insert duplicate key in object. The duplicate value is cardiology. Okay. You remember the first time I inserted this first row. So let me just execute it. No, I did not. See, you see two cardiologies in here, and we have mentioned that our specialization has to be unique, right? So that is why this row is not being inserted, or nothing isn't being inserted, because we're running this whole thing in a batch. So even if I remove this by commenting, this should work. Why? Because none of the other specializations are duplicate in these records. So if I do this, it still gives me that. What is the duplicate? Duplicate is pediatrics. Okay, yes, I see that right here. So we cannot insert duplicate records, duplicate specialization. So I'm going to comment this. Now I have cardiology, pediatrics, endocrinology, and nephrology, and this should work. Execute. There we go. So that's select star from dbo.Doctor. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 records. Mittal, Arjun, Yash, and Madhavi. Okay. So let's go back to our screen and our requirement. Insert the following records in each of the created tables. And we did, and we did not add pediatrics twice. So we do not have Ravi Sharma, and who else did we comment of? Ravi Sharma and Chandrasekhar, because the specialization can't be duplicate. So you might ask your lecturer or somebody as to which record do they want you to insert into the database, since you cannot uh, have duplicate specializations in your doctor table. But for now, I just eliminated these two and have the rest in our doctor table. Now let's go back to our patient table and insert the patient records. Okay. So here I'm just going to see one thing from the data. So in the patient data, I should always have a doctor ID that's in the doctor ID in the doctor table. So we have 601, 401, we do not have 301. We have 101 and 102. So we do not have this record, which is 301, which is cardiology, right? So we will not be able to insert this particular record. Why? Because we created the table here with the doc ID, which is a foreign key to the doctor table, which is the doctor ID, which means if you're entering a data or a doctor ID in the patient table, that doctor ID has to exist in the doctor table. Okay, so let's go ahead and insert data into dbo.Patient table, PATIENT, and the column names patient. I'm going to copy all that. Patient ID, patient name, age, appointment date, and doc ID. Insert into, okay. Insert into is appointed. I think it's appointee underscore date is what we call it. You can double check it here in the columns. It's appointee underscore date. Okay, and then what are the values? These are the values. Again, single quotes, single quotes, single quotes, single quotes, single quotes, and a comma, 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 single quotes again, run the names. This, comma, 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 and then close bracket and a comma. So I'm going to copy this and then this. Okay. What are we missing here? Why is it highlighting something? So patient ID, patient name, age, appointment date, and doctor ID. So let's execute this. Incorrect. Okay, we forgot the values keyword there. Now everything is not, that highlighted or that error-y thing. So remove that comma there. So we're going to insert 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to get an error. I'll tell you why. The error message also tells us which record it is failing on. So it says it's because of the doc ID column, which is a foreign key constraint, which I just told you that this record or this 301 is not in our doctor table. So 301 is not in our doctor table, so you cannot add that particular record in our patient data. So you'll have to comment this out and then insert this data. Okay, so you will have to give an explanation as to why this record was not being added. So because of foreign key constraint and since the 301 is not in the doctor table, it is failing on the foreign key constraint. And we got all the other records added to our patient table. So let's do select star from dbo.Patient table and see how it looks like. And there we go. Let's go back to our questionnaire. So we created our database, we created our tables, we inserted the data that they gave, and also have reasons as to why we were not able to insert this particular record, and we also removed two records from here, that's 501 and 301, because we should have only one unique specializations, right? Okay, let's go to the following queries. Let's copy all this, and I'm going to put it in the comment here. Display both tables, so easy. Select, we did that earlier also, dbo.Doctor, and select star from dbo.Patient. Select these two. You can click on execute or the function key F5, like here when you hover over it, it'll give you F5. So you can either do that. And here is a doctor table with the records, and then patient table with the patient records. So number 1 is done. And what is number 2? Display all the patient names along with their appointment date. That means select. So where are these patient names and their appointment date? It is in the patient table. So I'll say select patient underscore name from patient underscore name, comma, appointee underscore date from dbo.Patient. Okay, execute. There we go. We got all the patient name along with their appointment dates. Then third, display the doctor names for doctor ID 102, 101, 102, and 401. So select the doct name from dbo.Doctor table where doct ID in, you got to use an in 101, comma 201, comma 401. Okay, then execute. So these are the doctor names who have the doctor IDs 201, 101, 201, and 401. So this is number 3 query. And then number 4, display the patient name starting with letter R. So I'll say select star, select patient name, patient underscore name from dbo.Patient where patient underscore name like. Okay, we're gonna use the like operator and starting with R, and then whatever the name is. Okay, then close the brackets or close the quotes, click on F5, and we have Ravi and Ram. So there we have our 4th query. Now display the patient name, display the patient details who is having maximum age. So how do you find the max age? Using the max operator. So select star from dbo.Patient where max of age select star from patient where They're asking select the who is having maximum age. So we'll say first we'll find out the max age, comma, star, select max age from patient. Oh, patient. Okay. So the max age is 68. Okay. So you can say there are different ways of doing this. So you can say uh, select star from dbo.Patient where age is equal to or where age in and copy this statement. So this kind of be your subquery. There you go. So the max age, so you find out the max age and which is 68 and then find patient details from the subquery. Okay. And then let's go back to number 6. Display the patient name whose name include only 3 letters. Who's that? So again, select how to find the length of the patient name is what they would like to test. So what we'll do is select length of patient underscore name from dbo.Patient where length of patient underscore name is equal to 3. Okay, so we need to get the patient name. So patient underscore name. Okay, so we got Sam, Bob, and Ram. So we don't need this column now, right? So I'm going to remove that and say 5. So these are the patients which are having only 3 characters in their name. And let's go number 7. Alter the table doctor and add column fees. So alter table dbo.Doctor, add column name fees integer. Okay, execute, command successful. So dbo.Doctor, we have only 3, but if I refresh, we should have the 4th column. Fees integer. Done. Good job. And then update the details of the column fees. So copy. So what I would say, update statement. Update dbo.Doctor set fees equals 1000 or whatever, 10,000. You either can say where, depending on which doctor has how much fees, but I'll say update fees set fee update doctor set fees is equal to this, but you need to write this in a better way. So update d doctor as d and then update d set d dot fees equals 10,000. And then let me show you how it looks like before and after the update statement. dbo.Doctor, and then here. There we go. And in case if you want to update the price for each and every doctor as differently, you'd say where doct ID equals 101. For number one doctor, you want to say 20,000. Then you see, it got updated only for that doctor ID of 101. So looks like we've completed our practice exam, and hope you understood what we did. And let me know if you have any questions or if you want me to explain any other topics. And thank you and have a nice day. Thank you. Bye.